I once lost a bet from friends and then had to shave all my legs. I felt very pretty, yes.
Leo, welcome to the FF Tattoo Studio here at Fintech Talents Festival 2025.
Awesome, I walked in, I saw it, it looks great.
We have done these 60-second questions, and every time that we do, we grab Leo on camera and we say, if you had to get a tattoo of any company, what company logo would you get? And every single time you say?
Monzo.
You are an investor in Monzo.
I am, yes.
When did you invest in them?
In their first round in 2016.
2016?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, was that the one that was Christmas?
The 90-second one.
The 90-second one that then broke the site afterwards.
Broke the site, Crowdcube was down for a while. It was crazy, yeah. I got lucky to get in.
Yes.
Yes.
And then since then, I think that, forgive me if I'm wrong, but that it's pretty much like, is it 20, I can't remember, 20x or on that?
I think so, yeah. It's about 25x, 26x since then. And it's more now, I think.
Think back 10 years.
Yes.
Why did you choose to invest in Monzo?
I think the short of it is I'm very curious. I love everything, and I've always been interested in financial services. I've always been interested in financing, sorting it. I'm quite organized in that sense. And I realized when I came to the UK in 2012, I started banking with HSBC and started banking with a few others. You know, back in the day, mobile banking apps were not that good, to say it lightly. And I think I was really frustrated by how I could manage my finances. And when I saw Monzo come up and basically the promises they made of like this one app, obviously it's gone a slightly different way, but it's still gone a very good way. I still do all my daily banking with Monzo. My son has an account now. There's investment accounts, there's pensions. They've done all of the things that you would expect from an app to be in one. And I think that was my vision back then. And because I'm very curious. I love products and how products fit into markets.
Tell me a little bit more about your love affair with Monzo.
I think it's about, for me, the OG mission of fintech, and I keep repeating this everywhere, is democratizing access to finances, right? Democratizing access to managing your money in a better way. And I think Monzo and Tom Blomfield, back in 2017, we had a conversation at a Crowdcube event, and he kind of sold me on the vision as well. He was so passionate about it that kind of reinvigorated my, okay, yes, definitely. So I think just after that conversation, a couple of months after, you could do the credit account switching service. So I switched over in 2017, and I haven't looked back. And they've improved so much since then. And I think the way I can manage my, Monzo Flex, I think is one of the best credit cards out there. I think Monzo Flex is a great example of a good credit card. So I think they're consistently innovating. And for me, as a product geek, an innovation geek, that attracts me to Monzo. And then on the other side, the personal finances is just, it's great. I love it.
It makes me feel quite old for thinking of the original fintech mission, again, democratizing finance. Why do you think that appeals to you as a human being?
I grew up in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. Not the best financial means, like my parents didn't own their own houses, all of these things. I think access to money, I knew days that I would eat noodles for dinner as a student because I just don't have any money, right? To me, like having friends all over the place in Rotterdam, sometimes being worse off, sometimes being similar to me, giving everyone the tools to manage their money better. If you look at all of these people, if they had access to tools that make it very easy to manage your money, make it very accessible, dealing with banks at the time, given the technological aspect wasn't there, they just didn't have the means to manage their money in the correct way. So they often, at the end of the month, they couldn't buy food. So I've had some friends that went to food banks, and seeing that, I think that made me most passionate. That's kind of the underlying reason as to where I was growing up.
So for you, an investor, it isn't just about what the return on the investment would be.
No.
It's also about, do you know what, I think this is something that, yes, it might benefit me, but I think it will benefit the world as well.
Exactly, yeah. It's about innovation, making lives better, and making livelihoods better. That's why fintech is my top sector to invest in, because that's, managing your money better means you have a better chance of having, creating a situation whereby your livelihood wouldn't get compromised at any second, and you can be independent and strong, and I like to give that strength to everyone. Good innovation solves challenges that we have in the world. So ecology is another example. I'm not sure if you've heard of ecology, but it's basically a subscription. So they do have a business, so B2B product as well, but the B2C product is like Netflix. You can plant trees and you can have like your little, I'm not sure if you've heard of ecology, they're a Bristol-based business.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. So you pay $10 a month and you plant trees and you offset your own carbon. Stuff like that, I really like.
Well, Leo, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. That looks really cool. Let's get a big fat photograph of that, please. Let's zoom in on that.